This is your one and only FireSpark81 with your daily dose of video goodness, and welcome back to Freeform Friday, where we play some random video game. And today's video game is Kingdoms and Castles. So it's kind of like an RTS slash city builder type deal. Pretty neat little game. So let's get started. Let's click on new. We're gonna do the easy one. And let's see here. We can move around and look at the map. This is the background screen that you started with. That's the map you're gonna play. I don't really like this one. Let's see what else we got here. And you know what? I think I like this one because we could start right here. There's a bunch of stone. Well, that iron's gonna be hard to get to. You know, you got to pay attention to what you're doing, and there's not a lot of trees over here. Essentially what you want is iron that's easy to get to and stone that's easy to get to and trees. Actually, I think this might not actually be that bad of a map. We can get a good bit of stone, 2 locations actually, and iron. So, you know what? Let's just do this one. We'll just accept it. We will pick a banner. I usually go with this green one just because it's funny, but let's do this one. And we can change our name to whatever we want it to be. So, what do we want to call our little town city thing here? We're gonna go with the old-fashioned Fire Clan. All right, let's accept that, and then we're gonna pop right in. So you move with your W, A, S, and D keys. That moves you around the map. You can hold down your right mouse button to change your view and all that stuff. Rotate your view around, all that. You can zoom in and out by rolling your cursor or your middle mouse button. I'll get stuff right here. I talk all the time. Can't you tell I'm a professional at this? Okay, so we're gonna start off by placing our castle. And you know what? You also have to pay attention to where you're placing things, because the land makes a difference. Like this land here is fertile. This land is very fertile. That's going to make a difference when it comes to your farms and such. So you know what? I think what I'm gonna do is place it right here. Does that look like a good spot? Yeah, because we got plenty of fertile ground all around. All right, there we go, and it will start to build. And while it is building, we are going to go ahead and build some other good stuff. We have to have roads. You just got to. There's a lot of things that you can't place unless a road's nearby. Well, actually, pretty much anything needs a road nearby. And you can see right now, we can place stuff in this little area right here that's highlighted by the white box. But what happens is your roads will actually extend that area. So I'm going to place roads out like so. And then we're also going to tell some of our peasants to chop these trees. You can just click on those and they will start chopping them. Now, without a woodcutter shack or whatever the heck the thing is called, we'll get to in a minute, these trees won't grow back. You can actually, I think it's called the forester, you can actually plant the forester, and that building will actually cause trees to grow back, but it has to have some trees close by to get started. So don't go chopping trees down like crazy. You want to just get enough to get you started, and then you're good to go. So next up, we're going to build a little hovel, and I'm going to build it right here because they're going to want one next to it because they like having neighbors. And then we are also going to go to food, and we're going to build a normal little plain farm. You know what? Do I want to build it there and maybe do an orchard there? Let's take a look here. We can do an orchard when we get 15. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just place 2 farms here. I'll place one there and then one there later, and I'll place an orchard here. Orchards provide more food as a whole and are actually a little bit better. I like to try to get as many orchards down as possible. So we're going to do that. Now, what I'm going to do now is after those build, I'm going to click on industry here and this forester. This is what we want, but in order to get that, we need to have a quarry. So I'm going to go ahead and get our quarry started. Now you can see if I try to place it here, it's like, oh, you can't do that because you need to have a road, and we do not have any roads there. So we're going to have to get us a road going up that way. And all you have to do to extend that out, just click on your town, and we can just place a road right there for now. We don't even have to connect it to anything. We can connect it in to our area here and our other roads later. And then I'm going to click on industry, and once they start, there we go. We go ahead and place that down, and then they'll start on that. I just want to make sure they build the road, and then they'll build the quarry there. And now we need to just wait patiently till we start getting some quarry. I'm going to, or some stone from the quarry. I'm also going to have them chop down these trees over here. I want to extend my city out this way. So I'm going to chop down all of these trees here because I don't want them here. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell them to chop them all down. And they will, over time, eventually chop down all of these trees and give us a nice chunk of wood. And I'm going to extend out this way just a little bit, but I'm going to extend out this way enough for farms and for the foresters. The houses and everything will go down this way. We've got plenty of fertile land over this way too, so I'll probably hit this up with some farms too. You have to take into account a lot of different things when playing this game. Like, you don't want to fill up too much of this land, you know, here with houses and what other riffraff buildings, because this could be possible good farmland. But it's sometimes, you know, you guys got to be like, well, I got plenty of other farmland up here and over here, so I'll go ahead and do that. We got a lot of good farmland up here too, but you want to try to keep your towns close together and tight knit, because you will get attacked, and the tighter knit they are, the easier they are to protect. So I played this game a little bit here and there, and it's really fun. I really like it a lot, and I highly recommend it if you like these type of like city building games, and you like a little RTS in there too. Then I highly recommend picking this game up. You'll get the RTS isn't like super crazy. Vikings will come and attack. You have to defend from them, and a dragon will show up every now and then, and you gotta defend from him. That's about all I've seen so far. I haven't seen too much more than that. I don't know if there is or isn't more stuff to attack you than that. Those two things right there are pretty. It takes a little while to get to the point where you can defend from them in a good kind of way. So you can also control your game down here. I just sped things up a little bit. We'll get things going a little bit here so I can show off a little bit more of the game. Alright, so a little bit of time has passed, and I've built the road out a little bit, built another house, built another farm. Although I've shut this farm down, I needed the people to go over here and work this. You can see we have four workers here. If you don't have enough people to take care of everything, you have to shut buildings down, and then they'll redistribute themselves. So now that we have all of that going, the very next thing I build is the forester, because I like the constant income of the wood. It makes things a lot easier, so you don't got to worry about constantly going down and chopping down trees. Now you can see this area here that surrounds this building. This is the area in which it'll continue to grow trees. If you don't want those trees in your way, you have to build further out, but you can only build so far out, and you have to build it next to a road. So there's a lot of stuff to keep in mind. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build it right here, and then what I'll do is I'll end up building buildings here, so the trees will have to grow back here in this area. So now we're just going to wait patiently until that has been built and just kind of hang out for a little bit. I still have everything on super fast speed, and I'll play on really fast speed for a while and let everything get going, and then you don't really need to slow it down till you get a little further into the game and there's a lot more to manage. Right now I'm not really managing a whole lot. I'm just kind of waiting for them to do this and building up a ton of resources. You also need to pay attention to your food, how much food you got going out, and how much food you got coming in. That's very important. So I'm going to go ahead and open this farm back up. We have 27 stone right now. I want to make sure we have a nice stockpile of food. And speaking of stockpiles, that's something else that you can build along with your granary. There's two different things. There is the actual stockpile right here, which stockpiles everything that's not edible, and then under the food you have the granary, and that stockpiles your food. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get a granary built. We're going to put that, well, I want a bunch of farms here, so actually I'm going to put the granary right here, and you can hit R to rotate your buildings. As far as I can tell, that's just for it's for aesthetic purposes. It doesn't really matter which direction it's in. And then I'm going to put the stockpile right here. So now we're going to let those build up. I'm going to build another house as well, just a little hovel right there. Actually, no, I want roads there. Where can I build another hovel? We'll build another hovel right there. So that's good for now. Now, don't get too crazy with building your hovels. People will come to your town every time, you know, like once a year or twice a year or so, and like you can see here, it says 2 people visited but none could find a home. When you have that's when you want to build another little hovel or some type of something to house these people. You don't want to get too crazy with it because you have to keep and manage that along with your food. If you have too many people coming in and you don't keep up with food production, you'll end up starving yourself. So you can see right now we're starting to starve just a little bit, but I'm actually going to click on this orchard and place it here, and we will get that going. And if I have to, I'll shut down the quarry to force people to come over here and work the orchard, because food is way more important than this right now. I'm actually going to go ahead and do that anyway. We don't need a whole lot of stone right now. We will later, but we need to make sure we have a nice stockpile of food. So I'm going to get everybody working on that. And see, we have a farm here, but nobody's working it. So remember, food comes first, and then bringing in new people, and then everything else after that. And as you can see, the town has grown up quite nicely. We got 2 foresters going. Another thing you need to make sure you get eventually, but it's not like one of those things you need to get in a super hurry, is the charcoal maker. This increases your happiness because it allows the people to have charcoal to keep them warm in the winter. You can see that these are requirements down here for the houses that increase their happiness. Also, build wells everywhere. Build a well. Just if you're like, you know, I need something to fill in this little area right here, just build a well. If you highlight over it, you can see that it shows you the coverage for the wells. The deeper the blue, the better your coverage. Just build them everywhere. Like I just have one stuck out here in the woods just to make sure it covers this one and anything else that I build out here. You know, just build wells everywhere. You can never have enough. If you don't build wells, you will regret it. Trust me. Fires break out and your buildings burn down, then you got to rebuild them, and then it's a total mess. So let's talk about safety and fortifying your area. You have a ton of different things here that you can use to like fortify your area, barracks and all that other stuff. What I found the easy thing to do is you build this castle block right here, and you just build it wherever you want to fortify an area. So like I'm just going to build it right here, and then I'll wait patiently till it's done. This is another good thing and another reason I recommend having 2 quarries, because this can get expensive and take up a lot of stone really fast. So I'm gonna let them build that. We have a good bit of stone right now. I haven't really been using a lot. And then you want to go back to your castle, and the other thing you want to build is this, but we need gold in order to do that. So you need to build a treasury room. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna actually chop this tree here, and then we're gonna put our treasury room. Actually, you know what? Let's chop this one. I want to put it like right here, just in case I need this for, you know, farms or whatnot. Another thing I built was a windmill. Windmills are super important because they boost your farms. If you see here, if I click the farm, the longer a person works it, the better skilled they get. So you can see we have master workers. That gives us +2. It's on medium soil, the fertility, so that gives us +2. And then the windmill nearby gives us +3 more food. So its normal output would be 6, but with the windmill and everything else, it gives us 13. So that's just something to keep in mind. Windmills really boost your fertility of your farms, I guess you could say, or the output of your farms is the word I'm looking for. You see here that the orchard produces a heck of a lot more. It takes up 3 workers, but for 3 workers, you get the 24 base plus the fertility bonus plus master workers. You can't really boost them too much beyond that, beyond the soil fertility. If we had this heavy green here, like this one has a little bit more fertile bonus, it's at 5. So that's something to keep in mind with those. All right, so anyway, let's build our treasury room. So we're going to put our treasury room right here. Now, just because it's a castle piece, it doesn't actually have to be attached to your castle. There's a lot of castle options here that you could build like a really fancy looking castle, but you don't have to build it like attached to your castle. So we're just going to build it up right there. And then once that's built, we'll be able to start collecting gold from everybody. You need the gold because that helps fund anything and everything that you do to protect your little town. So what we're going to do is just let that craft up, and then we will build this archery tower on top of here. All right, now that we have enough gold, we can build our archery tower, and you can see the range at which our archery tower can fire. That circle around it is how far away it fires. So we're just going to build that on top of that chunk of stone block right there, basically. And you do this and you just form archery towers wherever you want, wherever you think that they will be good to help protect. I like to try to form them close together. So like I want to put one here. That way the circles overlap just a little bit. That way if something comes in this way, it's taking double the fire. And so like I'll put another one maybe like right here. So then I'm just going to go ahead and build that right there like so, and then we'll build the other one right there. And that gives me a little bit of protection. It's not a ton. You eventually want to build units to help you protect, but these I feel are a really good place to start, and they do work relatively well for your first invasion or so, and they'll help you defend against a dragon a little bit. I have yet to kill a dragon. You can sometimes, if you do enough damage, a dragon will fly off. Usually it won't stick around as long if it's taking damage, but it essentially just burns down a couple buildings and then gets out of town. So we're gonna let that build. Now another thing, don't start building these type of structures until your town is stable. If you look at my town right now, it's super stable. I don't have any idle workers right now. I have 49 beds. My happiness is 60. You know, we got a stockpile of charcoal, which you can see down here, which is good. Nice gold income, tons of food, and we got good wood and stone income. It's perfectly stable. If I didn't do anything right now to expand or anything else like that, it would just run as happy as could be forever and ever and ever until we get attacked. So when your town is stable, then that's when you want to start building these defensive structures. Once you get your town nice and defended, and then start expanding a little bit more, you know, however slow or fast you want to expand, then wait till it's stable again, you get it running nice and even, and then start building your structures, your defensive structures, or you got other stuff here, like you can do a barracks and actually start training units. I don't really care too much for the way the units work. I like these defensive type towers a lot more. You can put ballistas on top of them if you want. You can just put them all over the place. To get the units, you have to build the chamber of war, and then you can build a barracks. Then you recruit like a general, and then that general you can also recruit your different people from your area, your town or whatever, that are set, that are idle. You can turn them into soldiers. Then your general will come and take those and basically form like a little army. So now that we've got this other tower here, we're going to go ahead and build on top of that one, and we're going to go ahead and build this one too. So once those are done, if I highlight over them, it shows you can see that they all overlap just a little bit. These two overlap a little more than these two, but it should be decent enough that if anybody comes in, they're going to take a good amount of fire. And then after that, then I can just continue to expand. The other thing is, like, you don't want to continue to use these houses a whole lot. These like little hovels are okay. I like to start using the cottages as soon as I can. They house more people. You can see that they house 12 people compared to these, which only house 5, and they have 1 head of household. So for 2 heads of household, you get an additional 2 people. There are other housing options. You can do the manors, that'll hold 25 beds and has 4 heads of household, but I like to just stick with the cottages. That's just a personal preference on my part. Now we want to do some other stuff to increase happiness, and we can do that like by adding a library, and you want that to encompass as many of your houses as possible. So actually what I'm going to do is fit it right here. It's actually a really good spot, I think. Yeah, right there. And then what I can do is build my road out this way, take it across here, and build another row of houses here, which will all be encompassed into the library area. And I can build some houses here as well. So we're just going to let these people do their thing for a little bit and finish building up this stuff. All right, so we got Vikings invading. Here's a perfect time for me to show you a little bit of the RTS aspects of this. So here's the Vikings. Looks like they're going to land probably somewhere here, and then they'll march down and around this way. I can try to prepare for this to build another tower or 2, but I'm just going to let it go, see what happens, see if we can maybe thwart them off with the 2 towers that we have. Honestly, I don't know if the new ones would be built in time if I did try to build them. So this will show you what kind of defenses you need in order to deal with the Vikings. Now you can see how they're kind of grouped up here. They got the one big guy and a couple of little guys with him. Your units will be pretty much the same thing when you form them, when you have your main general and your little guys accompanying him. So we're just gonna watch these guys. They're gonna slowly work their way down here and try to invade, and yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to come right around this way. So another thing you can do is plan for this kind of stuff ahead of time. Like you can build your road all the way out here and then build a wall across here and cut this whole area off here if you wanted to, because you do have the option. If you build this side by side, you'll build a wall, and then you can build the towers on top of them and cut entire sections of land off, like you would cut this whole area off. I don't know if the AI is smart enough to then like come sailing in here. I've cut a section of land off before and they still landed similar spot to where they landed the previous time, so it can work for you. So here you go. Now as soon as they're in the area here, the tower will start shooting at them, and what they'll do is they'll burn some buildings and steal some people. And yeah, you can see that he's trying to burn the building, but I have the well here, so they're going to put that out, and they're getting shot down pretty quickly. Now the tower is going to this guy. I don't think they're going to get back out. They may get in, cause a little bit of destruction, but I don't think they're gonna get back out very quickly. So they're getting shot to heck and back. Now they've got two buildings on fire, of course. So did they steal a person? He stole a person. He did not. He's gonna get away. And I think the other ones got destroyed. Yeah, it doesn't look like the other group made it out. So one made it out. He doesn't have anybody. I don't think, nope, he didn't steal anybody. So we didn't lose any people. We may lose this building. I don't know if they're gonna get it put out in time. You can see that they're trying, well, they're harvesting food right now and not really paying attention to it. Did you get it out? Okay, it looks like they got it out. So that was it. That was an attack. We managed to survive that attack with just a little bit of defenses. And that's about all I've run into for attacks so far. I think the most I've run into so far is 3 ships, 3 Viking ships, and 1 dragon. At one point, 2 Viking ships and 1 dragon attacked. That was the worst of it, I think. All right, so as you can see, the wall has been completed. We have 1 archer tower on here. It is manned by 2 people, and they also get a soldier skill percentage, and you have to pay them, so you have to keep collecting those taxes. You can see as they go along, they gain soldier percentages, which I'm assuming increases their damage. And they take a whole 4 gold per year, but we have a ton of gold. I haven't really been spending a whole ton of it. I also built this, which is the town square, and you can see it encompasses a rather large area. Ideally, I would have wanted it like somewhere in here, but you know, this demonstrates the purposes. You can click this to spend 25 gold and throw a festival, which will boost your happiness. You can see we got 15 from the festival. And on top of that, I built the good old tavern, consumes food to raise your happiness. And then once again, we have the church. So I boosted the happiness around the household here, the household area, as much as I possibly could. We're at 90 right now, so we should get a nice steady income of people as long as we have areas for them to live. Right now, we're completely full on people, and we also just about have our food maxed out, so food is good as well. And I have 10 idle people that I can use to build some more farms, and then increase my living conditions or living area. So that's it for Kingdoms and Castles. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and like I said, I think you'll really enjoy the game if you enjoy these type of RTS city building, town management type games, and it's only $10 in the Steam store, so not a bad deal. That is going to wrap it up for this video. Before I go, I want to give a quick shout out to my Patreon supporters. Thank you so much for all of your support. You all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to help support this channel through Patreon, please check out the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy and you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and show your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.